Welcome to Reddit Echoes, where you don't just hear stories. You relive every cringy, hilarious, and sometimes deeply embarrassing moment from the Reddit community. In today's video, you'll hear stories that will make you seriously question your faith in friendship, neighborly trust, and maybe humanity in general. From the neighbor who stole a winning lottery ticket and tried to split it 50-50 like buddies to the best friend who returned a borrowed bikini with a very human surprise, each story takes a wild turn you'll never see coming. And if you've ever lent someone something only to get back more than what you gave, trust me, you'll feel deeply seen here. Story 1. She hated my snake, so she released it into a lake. Now it's dead. I'm not going to sit here and pretend this didn't mess me up, because it did. I lost a friend, a tiny, harmless creature I'd raised since high school, all because my girlfriend couldn't stand the thought of living under the same roof as a snake. Look, I get it. A lot of people are scared of snakes, but mine, Pudding, was different. She was a ball python, small, calm, and gentle as a marshmallow. My dad gave her to me when I got accepted into the high school I'd dreamed of. She wasn't just a pet, she was comfort. She was family. When my parents divorced, Pudding was the only one who didn't respond with anger or judgment. She just existed, and somehow that was enough to keep me sane. When I started dating Kelsey, I didn't bring up Pudding right away. You know how it is, people judge. I figured I'd ease her into it. At first, she was neutral, not thrilled, not freaked out. She even once posted a photo from afar on her story with the caption, "My BF's weird snake pet LOL." But everything changed once we decided to move in together. Of course I brought Pudding with me. She had her own enclosure heating lamp, a proper feeding setup, and she never left her tank unless I took her out. But within the first week, Kelsey started getting weird about it. I don't like how it looks at me when I sleep. I read snakes bring negative energy. Do you ever feel like it's haunting us? I laughed. I thought she was joking. She wasn't. She really believed this bad energy nonsense, and soon she became obsessed with the idea that Pudding was ruining her life. Then one night she said the words, "It's me or the snake." I remember going quiet for a long time. Then I said, "I can't choose. You're my girlfriend." But she's family. Kelsey stormed out crying. I figured she'd cool down. But 3 days later, I woke up and Pudding was gone. The tank was still shut tight. No trails, no thuds in the night. Just empty. I panicked. I tore the apartment apart, checked every vent, every corner, every drawer. I asked Kelsey. She dodged. Maybe it escaped. That happens, right? No. I knew that tank. Pudding could not get out on her own. That night, while Kelsey was in the shower, her phone buzzed. A message from her best friend Harper. "Wait, you actually did it. That lake has gators. WTF OMG Kelsey." My stomach flipped. My ears rang. She actually did it. I opened her phone. No passcode. In her messages, I found this. I don't know what came over me. I just wanted the apartment to feel lighter, like I was releasing bad energy. I knew he'd be mad, but I thought it would be fine. I thought it would survive in the wild. The wild Pudding had been raised on frozen mice. She had never hunted a day in her life. And this lake full of fish, turtles, birds, maybe even alligators. I called my best friend Jack. "We're going to the lake. Now." By the time we got there, it was dusk. I walked the shore with a flashlight. My heart felt like it was clawing out of my chest. I didn't know what I hoped to find, a sign she was alive, or at least intact. Then I saw her, curled in an unnatural shape under some reeds. Her body scraped. Dried blood crusted around her midsection. One massive bite, probably an otter, maybe a bird. Her eyes were open. I collapsed, and for the first time in years, I sobbed. Kelsey called later. I didn't pick up. Then the messages started flooding in. "Where are you? I'm sorry. Can we get another pet like a gecko?" Maybe I took a photo of Pudding's body, sent it to her. Thanks for your choice. It killed something that mattered. And I blocked her. I pulled my name from the lease, packed my things, and never looked back. Some people said I overreacted. It's just a snake. No, it was more than that. She was my memory, my comfort, my proof that loyalty could exist even when everything else falls apart. If someone can throw away a part of your past without a second thought, they don't deserve a place in your future. You're listening to Reddit Echoes, where betrayal, silence, and grief are given the voice they were once denied. If someone's ever destroyed something you loved simply because they didn't understand it, share your story in the comments. Because sometimes the smallest creature can hold the biggest piece of your heart. Story 2. I was undergoing chemotherapy. He said I was just lazy. I never thought I'd be treated the worst, right when I was at my weakest. I'm 32. I used to be healthy, optimistic with a stable job and a clear plan for my life. Then cancer showed up like a thief in the night, no knock, no warning. I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma after months of fatigue, weight loss, and swollen lymph nodes around my neck. Stage 2. Not too late, but not easy either. My doctor said I'd need 6 months of chemotherapy. I don't have a partner or kids. My family lives far away. But luckily, I had a full-time job at a large pharmacy. I was the inventory manager. And I had Ryan. Ryan was a co-worker, the kind of person who made me believe good people still existed. We'd worked together for nearly 3 years, had lunch breaks together, talked during slow shifts. I always thought he was kind, funny, and understanding. I was completely wrong. I told my supervisor about my diagnosis as soon as I got my treatment schedule. She was incredibly supportive. The company adjusted my role to part-time and gave me flexible sick leave. Most coworkers were kind, except Ryan. The very first week I took off for chemo, Ryan messaged me, "Bet you're loving the time off, huh? Getting paid without showing up must be nice." I thought he was joking. I replied lightly, "Yeah, nothing like getting poison pumped into your veins for fun." He left me on red. After that, every time I showed up for a shift, he'd throw in little jabs. "Oh, look, the sick girl's back. Probably heading out again soon, huh? You using that health insurance for a spa vacation or what?" While others were asking if I could eat if I had headaches or if I needed anything. Ryan would say things like, "Still got your hair? Guess it's not that serious yet, huh?" I wanted to call him out, but I was tired. I was already fighting my own body, and I didn't have the energy to explain to a grown man that no one chooses to throw up blood. Then came the last straw. I had just finished my 4th round of chemo. I felt like I'd been hit by a truck. After a few days of rest, I went out to get some medication for my grandmother. She lives 10 minutes away. On the way home, I stopped by the pharmacy to pick up a few more supplies. I was wearing a mask, a baseball cap, most of my hair had fallen out. And I saw Ryan. He was talking to 2 new hires. Loud enough for me to hear some people just say a magic word and poof, they're off work for a month. Better watch out or you'll end up covering someone's fake sick leave. I froze in the aisle. My eyes burned. He hadn't seen me, but one of the new hires had. She tugged on his sleeve and pointed in my direction. He turned. His face went pale. I didn't say much. I just walked up to the counter, placed my items down, looked him in the eyes and said calmly, clearly, "You know, Ryan, some people fight every day just to stay alive. And some people open their mouths and kill faith in humanity with one sentence." No one said a word. I walked out thinking only one thing: I'm done with this place. That night I wrote my resignation letter. Not because I was weak, but because I was done letting myself hurt more when I was already hurting enough. The next morning, I sent the letter. My supervisor called immediately asking why. I told her everything about Ryan. She was silent for a few seconds, then said something I'll never forget. "We'll handle it. But I want you to know you are welcome here anytime. You are valued. And I'm so sorry this happened to you." I never went back. I chose rest. I chose healing. A month later, a friend still working there messaged me, Ryan got reassigned to warehouse duty. No more supervisor privileges. Apparently people finally spoke up. No one could stand him anymore. I didn't laugh. I didn't feel smug. But I did feel lighter. I'm writing this now after finishing my final round of chemotherapy. My hair is slowly growing back. I'm planning to apply for a new job, one where people understand no one fakes being weak just to get rest. Everyone's just trying to survive the best way they can. As for Ryan, he probably still thinks I was just lazy. But I know, and so does that entire store, that I've survived a war he will never comprehend. You're listening to Reddit Echoes, where voices once ignored come back stronger than ever. If you've ever been dismissed or belittled while you were struggling, share your story in the comments. Don't stay silent. They don't deserve the quiet. Story 3. The nail salon charged based on mood. And I wasn't the chicken to pluck. I'm not a difficult customer. I always tip my nail techs fairly. I never cancel last minute. I don't complain if a coat smudges a little. But one thing I am not is someone you can rip off just because I'm too polite to make a scene. Unfortunately, the salon I'd been loyal to for months seemed to think I was exactly that kind of customer. I started going there about 7 months ago. It was close to home, clean, and the staff seemed friendly. At first, everything was fine, not amazing, but consistent. The prices were clear. Gel polish, $35 gel removal, $5 simple designs, $10. They even had a printed menu. I remember the first time I got my nails done there, peachy pink polish with tiny flower art on 2 fingers, $50 straight up. Made sense. But by the 4th visit, things started slipping. I asked for a basic nude ombre no designs. The whole session took about 35 minutes. Then at checkout, the owner said, "That'll be $70 today." I blinked. "Wait, I just got regular gel. No design, no rhinestones." She smiled that you wouldn't understand smile. Ombre is a higher level technique. Plus your nails are long, extra charge. My nails were medium length. And no one said ombre was premium before. Still I paid. Didn't want drama. But I started sniffing something shady. Next time I specifically booked with my favorite tech Lynn because she was gentle, detailed, and didn't talk down to clients. I made it clear just a single color gel, no extras, nails done. I walked to the register, total $65. I asked, "Wait, why is it $65 this time? Last time it was $50. I didn't do anything extra." The owner said different techs have different skill levels. Lynn is more experienced, her work is worth more. I said, "So, we can't choose our price beforehand? I thought there was a price list." She smiled again. Part pity, part superiority. Regular clients understand how it works. Oh, do we? Now, apparently I'm supposed to understand that prices fluctuate like crypto based on who holds the nail file. But the kicker, the final straw came when I brought my best friend Lana to get her nails done too. She got acrylics with a basic floral design. I got soft pink gel. No design, no glitter, no extras. We paid. Lana $55, me $80. I stared. Wait, I got something simpler, and it costs more. The owner glanced at us, then said flatly, "Your nail shape is prettier, harder to do. Hers just has art." I nearly laughed. "So now I'm paying a pretty nail fee. Or is it the you look expensive? So let's see if you'll notice tax." No, I didn't confront her. I paid. And then I went home. And I wrote a 3-paragraph review on Yelp, Google, and Facebook. With photos, with itemized receipts. No insults, no rage. Just the facts and one question. Is this a nail salon or a roulette table? If prices change with the wind, who wants to play? 3 days later, the salon messaged me. "Hi, sis. We saw your review. Must have been a misunderstanding. We really didn't mean to upset you. Would you consider taking it down? We'll give you a free gel set next time." I didn't reply. The next day, I got a text from what I assume was someone's personal number. Please take it down. Clients are canceling left and right. Your post is showing up at the top of our Google search. Ah, now you see the consequences. I still didn't take it down, because if I hadn't posted that review, how many more women would have paid the hot girl penalty? How many would have smiled awkwardly while being price judged at the counter? No, I'm not a chicken to pluck with a fluctuating price list. I found a new salon 15 minutes farther, but with posted prices, respectful staff, and no side-eye glances at the register. And the old salon. My one-star review still sits on top with a highly liked comment that reads, "Exactly what happened to me. Thank you for speaking up." This is Reddit echoes where even the smallest injustices become the loudest echoes. If you've ever been treated like you wouldn't notice, or worse, like you wouldn't say anything, share your story below, because this is the place where your voice gets heard. Story 4. They charged me for breathing their restaurant's air. I honestly couldn't tell if I had just finished a dinner, or accidentally walked into an audition for Who Wants to Be Publicly Humiliated by a pretentious restaurant. No kidding. That place should be renamed Cuisine and Condescension, a full package included in every bill. I'm a very easy customer. Seriously. I don't expect much. As long as my food isn't raw, freezing cold, or garnished with someone else's hair, I'm content. I tip generously, I say, thank you, and I don't nitpick. But that night, oh, let me tell you, my boyfriend Ben and I had dinner at this new fine dining place that just opened near us. It was hyped up all over social media, modern fusion, cozy lighting, upscale decor, a culinary journey through Asia, Europe, and possibly outer space. Mains were about $30–40. Not too bad if they lived up to the hype. We made a reservation, showed up on time. The hostess looked us up and down like she was trying to decide if we were worthy of oxygen in her establishment. I wore a simple black dress. Ben had on a button-down. We weren't in designer, but it's not like we walked in wearing pajamas. No smile, no greeting. Just a curt, "Your table is the one in the back, by the wall." Then she vanished. Didn't escort us, didn't offer water, not even a welcome. So, we found our own table. 10 minutes passed. No one approached. I had to wave my hand like I was trying to flag down a plane to get someone's attention. Finally, a waiter came over looking like he'd just been forced to swap shifts with his worst enemy. "You ready to order yet?" We asked about a few dishes. His responses: "That's sold out. That takes a long time. I don't think you'd like that. Too complex." I bit my tongue and ordered the Japanese-style short ribs. Ben got the miso-glazed salmon. The guy nodded and walked off. Didn't ask about drinks. No water, no warm towels, no bread basket. Just gone. 40 minutes later, our food finally arrived. No apology, no heads up. He just plopped the plates on the table like it was a punishment. My dish cold, Ben's fish, so overcooked it could double as sandpaper. But we ate anyway. We were starving. No one came to ask how things were. No one refilled water. Empty plates sat in front of us for 10 minutes untouched. Eventually, I flagged someone down to get the check. And when it arrived, let me read you what the bill said. Entree, normal pricing. Tax fine. Napkin, $2. Table cleaning fee, $5. Additional guest fee, 2 diners, $6. Extended table time without wine purchase, $4. Ben and I looked at each other. We genuinely thought we were on candid camera. I asked the waiter this time, a different one. What is all this? A napkin charge. And what's this about a no wine but stayed too long fee? With zero hesitation, he replied, "It's our restaurant policy. You were seated for nearly 90 minutes and didn't order more than entrees. And the napkin is a Japanese premium single-use cloth." I asked, "So can I take it home, I mean? I paid for it, right?" He smirked like I was being dramatic. "Of course, ma'am, if you'd like." I reached over, grabbed the half-used moist towelette, and slipped it into my purse. Cool. If it's priced like gold, I'll keep it. I paid. Exactly the bill amount. No tip, not a dime. And on the receipt with a red ink pen, I wrote, "I'm not paying to be judged like I begged for food. I pay to be served, not sneered at." Then I carefully photographed the entire bill line by line and posted it to Google Reviews, Yelp, and TripAdvisor. My caption: "If you enjoy paying to breathe too long at dinner, this is your spot." 2 days later, I got a call. A soft, clearly trained to sound sweet female voice tried her best not to sound passive-aggressive. "Hi, we saw your review. There might have been some misunderstandings. Our restaurant runs a unique model to ensure a premium experience for serious diners." I responded, "Perfect. Then my review exists to ensure serious customers know what they're walking into." I didn't delete the post. And 1 week later, the 1-star reviews came flooding in. One person said they got charged $10 for spilling chili sauce on the table. Another was kicked out for not meeting dress code standards even though they were wearing a button-down and jeans. Now, anytime someone asks me for fine dining recommendations, I tell them I know a place. If you want to find out what it feels like to pay for the air you breathe, this is Reddit Echoes, where even the smallest moments uncover the biggest red flags. If you've ever been treated like your presence was a nuisance just because you didn't look expensive enough, tell your story. Because here, your voice doesn't get pushed aside. Story 5. My neighbor, accidentally. Took my winning lottery ticket, and I made him pay for every penny. I used to think I was a nice person, the kind who lets neighbors borrow tools without keeping tabs or helps strangers push their broken-down cars without expecting a thank you. But all it takes is getting blatantly robbed once to realize being nice doesn't mean being stupid. This is the story of the time I let a friendly guy get a little too close to my wallet and he thought he could take without consequence. Spoiler alert. He picked the wrong person, so I'm a casual lottery player. Not addicted, not superstitious, just a Friday routine, buy a ticket. Some weeks I win a couple bucks. Most weeks I win nothing. But to me it's like a little ritual, like morning coffee or complaining about gas prices. I live in a quiet neighborhood. 3 houses down lives a guy named Travis, mid-40s, always wearing tank tops, flip-flops, and calling everyone bro. Even 70-year-old ladies pushing shopping carts. We used to be friendly. I once let him borrow my lawnmower, even watched his cat when he went on vacation. But then he started getting weird. For example, he kept suggesting we buy lottery tickets together. He'd say things like, "You never win, bro. Let me buy it for you, I'm good luck." I laughed it off, but since then I'd been watching him more closely. Then came the day, a totally normal Saturday morning. I opened my phone to check last night's lottery numbers. The screen lit up and I froze. They matched. All of them. I looked at my ticket on the table, neatly tucked into my notebook like always. Double-checked the numbers. $50,000 winner. I didn't scream, I didn't jump, I just froze. Then a wave of joy crashed over me and I laughed like a maniac still in pajamas, called my mom, called my best friend, then got dressed ready to head to the prize center. And then I turned back to the table. The ticket was gone. I thought I misplaced it, tore the room apart, flipped through every notebook page, checked the trash, checked coat pockets, even opened an old tennis bag. Nothing. That's when the cold realization hit me. I remembered that morning I was washing my face, and the front door had been slightly open after I received an early delivery, and Travis had just happened to walk by. He yelled, "Hope you hit the jackpot today, bro. I thought it was a joke." Now I wasn't so sure. I walked straight to his house. Didn't knock politely, I knocked like I had a search warrant. Travis opened the door holding my lottery ticket. I lost it. "That's my ticket. You took it from my house." He smirked. "Oh, this." Thought it was trash. Saw it on the lawn. Really trash inside my notebook. Inside my house, I told him I have indoor security footage. I'm checking it. And if you don't hand it over now, I'm calling the cops. He laughed. "It's just a piece of paper, bro. Want to split it 50-50?" I snapped back. "No, I want 100, or the cops will take 110. I went back home, fuming, pulled the footage. There it was, 7:02 a.m. Travis sneaking in through the open door, looking around, then snatching something off the table, my notebook. I saved the video to a USB, called the police, emailed the lottery office about a stolen ticket. 3 days later, police showed up at Travis's house. He freaked, denied everything, said he found it and didn't know it was worth anything. But the video footage ironclad, my testimony solid. The timestamp on the store printer matched the receipt I still had. Result: Travis was charged with grand theft. He lost the ticket, had to repay the full amount, and got probation plus legal fees. And me, I got my ticket back, cashed in $50,000. I spent a tiny portion on 2 new security cameras, and a front door that closes automatically, and Travis. He moved out 3 months later. Rumor is he's somewhere on the other side of town where no one knows he's the guy who found a lottery ticket and nearly got sued for trying to split it 50-50 with someone who wasn't stupid. This is Reddit Echoes, where people who think they're slick always run into someone smarter. Ever had someone borrow your luck without asking? Tell us your story, because here, every truth gets its justice. Story 6. My best friend. Borrowed my bikini and returned it with a gift from her digestive system. I'm a pretty chill person. I don't freak out over little things. I don't blow things out of proportion. And I believe that in life you've got to learn to forgive. But I also firmly believe in one simple rule. If you borrow someone's bikini and leave behind something from your large intestine inside it, you owe them an apology, at the very least. This happened when I was 19 on a girls' trip to Miami. It was a full-on vacation, a beachside Airbnb, cocktails all day, and more bikini changes than actual outfit changes. There were 5 of us, but the main character in this story is Mia, my best friend since middle school. Mia is the kind of person who can make an entire coffee shop turn their heads just by laughing. Loud, dazzling, always the center of attention, and also someone who regularly forgets that boundaries exist. From the start of the trip, Mia had forgotten to pack a bikini. Not just one, any, at all. Me, I'm the over-planner type, like I'm prepping for Miss Universe. I brought 5 bikinis, some I didn't mind sharing. But there was one I absolutely adored, a pastel pink, 2-piece, ultra-soft, ultra-thin fabric from a tiny boutique that cost me a week of eating ramen to afford. I wore it once at the beginning of the trip. Took photos, felt amazing, like Kendall Jenner stepping straight off Pinterest. I hand-washed it carefully, hung it to dry, and saved it for the final night's pool party. But Mia had her eyes on it. One morning, she waved me over from the kitchen. "Hey, can I borrow that pink bikini you wore yesterday? I want to go to the beach with the girls." I hesitated, smiled awkwardly, but she gave me those puppy dog eyes and I caved. "Okay, but please hand wash it and don't do anything gross." She grinned. "Ugh, who even does that? Spoiler alert, Mia." That evening, she gave it back to me in a fabric pouch. Didn't say a word. I figured it was fine, I'd just wash it the next morning. The next morning, I opened the bag. You know that feeling when your brain refuses to process what your eyes are seeing. There it was. A faint brown stain on the crotch of the bikini bottoms. Obvious, unmistakable. I froze, inspected, didn't dare smell it, absolutely didn't touch it, but I knew exactly what it was. And I knew she hadn't washed it. I brought the bikini to Mia's room holding the pouch like it was a murder weapon. "Mia, what is this?" She raised her eyebrows completely casual, like I'd just asked what's for breakfast. "What, me, the bikini bottoms? You didn't wash them." She rolled her eyes and dropped a line that made me want to call the FBI. "Oh, come on, I only wore them for a few hours. Maybe I had a bit of a stomach thing." A stomach thing. A few hours in my favorite bikini, I didn't yell. I just took a deep breath and asked, "You didn't think you should tell me, or at least wash it?" She gave me a little shrug and half smile. "I figured you've probably had stuff like that happen too." No. I have never soiled someone else's bikini and returned it like it was no big deal. I walked out of the room holding the bikini like biohazard evidence. I stuffed it into a Ziploc bag and labeled it, "Never to be used again." As for Mia, I started putting space between us. After that day, I barely talked to her, and a few weeks later, I blocked her on everything. Some might say I overreacted, but those people have never had to choose between hand-washing a fecal-contaminated piece of swimwear or tossing their favorite bikini because of someone else's digestive accident. 6 months later, Mia messaged me from a backup account. "I'm sorry. I had a stomach issue and I was too embarrassed to say anything." "Don't be mad, please," I replied. It wasn't just a digestive issue. It was a moral breakdown of, don't borrow someone's bikini when your gut is in chaos. This is Reddit Echoes, where even the smallest stories reveal the biggest truths about people. If you've ever lent someone your stuff and got back a biological surprise, then you get it. Here we retell, but we don't clean up other people's messes. And those were today's true Reddit stories where kindness gets exploited, boundaries get blurred, and justice comes back in the most satisfyingly savage ways. Ever been in a similar situation? Has someone ever accidentally taken what wasn't theirs and then acted like nothing happened? Share your story in the comments because you're not alone. Here we echo every voice of those who were tricked, underestimated, and came back swinging. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new episode, because at Reddit Echoes, every week is a new chapter of drama, revenge, and WTF moments you didn't see coming. Thanks for watching, and remember, never borrow a bikini if your digestive system isn't fully under control. Seriously, that line deserves to be printed on a t-shirt.